Meet Tyler. Tyler did everything right. Straight A student, captain of the debate team, got into a good school, not Harvard, but a solid private university in the Midwest. His parents cried at the dinner table when he got the acceptance letter. He took out loans. His parents took out loans. He worked weekends at a campus cafe making $11 an hour. He graduated in 4 years with a degree in communications, a 3.4 GPA, and $94,000 in student debt. He's now 29, still paying it off, still working a job that, in the job posting, literally said degree preferred, not required. Here's the number nobody told Tyler before he signed those papers. By the time he pays off that debt with interest, factoring in what he could have earned and invested in those 4 years instead, the true cost of that degree is closer to $300,000, not $94,000. $300,000. And the worst part? Tyler isn't a cautionary tale. Tyler is the average. So today we're going to talk about the thing nobody in your high school guidance counselor's office ever said out loud. We're going to talk about why college, for a lot of people, has become the most expensive mistake they'll ever make, and what actually makes sense instead. When people talk about college costs, they quote tuition, maybe room and board. The number looks scary but manageable, like $40,000 a year, $160,000 total. Okay, that's a lot. But it's not $300,000, right? Wrong. Because there are two costs nobody ever adds to the bill. First, interest. The average student loan interest rate sits between 5 and 8% right now. On an $80,000 loan balance, which is below average for a 4-year private school, you're paying $200 to $400 a month for 10 years. By the end, you've paid back $110,000, maybe $120,000. The loan company made $30,000 to $40,000 off you while you were just trying to become a graphic designer. Second, and this is the one that wrecks people when they actually do the math opportunity cost. Here's a simple scenario. Instead of going to a 4-year university at 18, you go work. You learn a skilled trade. You get an entry-level job in tech sales or logistics, whatever. You make $40,000 in year 1 and grow from there. By 22, when your college friends are graduating, you've made roughly $170,000 in income. You've been contributing to a 401k. You've maybe invested $20,000 or $30,000 in index funds. Your college friend? They've made essentially zero earned income. They have debt, and they're starting from negative. Run that gap out 10, 20, 30 years with compound interest. That's where $300,000 comes from. It's not just what you paid, it's what you gave up. Okay, but college isn't just about money, right? It's about opportunity. It opens doors. You can't get certain jobs without a degree. That's true. And it's also becoming less true every single year. Apple, Google, IBM, Tesla, Delta Airlines, these are not fringe companies. These are the most competitive employers on the planet. And in the last 5 years, they've all dropped the 4-year degree requirement for most of their roles. Why? Because they figured out what the data had been saying for a while. A degree is a signal, not a skill. It tells an employer this person can complete long tasks and follow instructions. That's it. It says nothing about whether you can actually do the job. And here's the controversial part. For a lot of careers, a degree is just an expensive hazing ritual. You pay $150,000 to prove you can tolerate 4 years of irrelevant coursework so that a hiring manager feels comfortable checking a box. That's not education. That's credentialism. And the two things are not the same. Now, I want to be clear. There are careers where a degree isn't optional. Medicine, law, engineering, architecture. If you want to be a surgeon, you cannot watch YouTube videos and figure it out. The degree isn't hazing. It's training, licensing, and liability. Totally different situation. But those careers represent maybe 20% of college graduates. The other 80%? A huge chunk of them are paying $300,000 to get a job they could have gotten another way, faster, cheaper, and without the debt hanging over them at 30. You've heard the statistic. College graduates earn on average $1 million more over their lifetime than non-graduates. It's on posters in high school hallways. It's in every college brochure ever printed. Here's what they don't show you. That statistic is a 50-year average that includes doctors, lawyers, and engineers, people who had no choice but to go to college. If you isolate the data to just graduates with degrees in fine arts, hospitality, or general humanities, the earnings premium shrinks dramatically. Some studies show it essentially disappears after accounting for debt service and delayed workforce entry. And here's the wildest part. The people pulling up that lifetime earnings average in the doctors and engineers, they're not pulling your average up. They're just making the number look good for the brochure. It's like saying the average net worth of everyone in this coffee shop is $4 billion because Elon Musk walked in for an espresso. Technically true, completely misleading. The real question isn't, do college graduates earn more on average? The real question is, does your specific degree from your specific school in your specific field produce a return that justifies the cost and the time? And that math, the specific math, is something almost nobody does before they sign the loan papers at 18 years old. I'm not here to just tell you college is bad. That's too simple. I'm here to tell you that college is one tool, and for a lot of people, it's the most expensive tool in the shed when a $30 screwdriver would have done the job fine. So what actually works? Trades and technical careers. Electricians, HVAC techs, and plumbers are not backup plans. They're businesses. The average master electrician makes between $80,000 and $110,000 a year, often self-employed, sets their hours, zero student debt. If you start an apprenticeship at 18, you can be running your own shop by 25, while your college classmates are still on their parents' health insurance. Certifications and self-directed learning. A cloud computing certification from AWS or Google costs a few $100s and a few months of study. It can land you a six-figure IT job. A coding boot camp runs about $15,000 and has placed people into $90,000 starting roles. Not a guarantee, but compare that risk profile to $200,000 in debt chasing an entry-level position. Entrepreneurship and direct skill building. Get good at something people pay for. Copywriting, video editing, sales, bookkeeping, build a portfolio, land clients. The barrier to this is almost nothing now. You can test whether you're good at something and whether the market pays for it before you spend a dime on formal education. And if college makes sense for your field, be ruthless about cost. Community college for 2 years. Transfer. Go in-state. Get every scholarship available. Graduate in 4 years, not 5 or 6. Treat it like the $200,000 investment it is, not a social experience investment it is, not a social experience you're entitled to. The problem is never college itself. The problem is treating an 18-year-old's casual preference as a reason to take on the largest debt of their life. Here's why this conversation doesn't happen in high schools. High schools are measured partly on college placement rates. Guidance counselors are not incentivized to say maybe skip college. That would look like failure. Your parents, and I say this with love, grew up in a different economy. When they went to school, tuition was 1/10 of what it is today in inflation-adjusted dollars. The advice, go to college, it'll pay off, was genuinely true for their generation. It's not automatically true for yours. And the colleges themselves? They are billion-dollar institutions with marketing budgets and beautiful campus tours designed to make you feel like this is where your life begins. They are very, very good at selling the dream. Nobody in that system is paid to look a 17-year-old in the eye and say, before you sign this, let's talk about whether this specific degree from this specific school is worth what you're about to pay. That conversation is on you now. Remember Tyler? He called a friend at 29 and said, I feel like I did everything I was supposed to do. Why does it feel like I lost? And the answer is painful. He didn't lose because he was lazy or dumb. He lost because he was handed a map drawn for someone else's destination and told it was universal. The $300,000 degree isn't a scam because there's a villain twirling a mustache. It's a scam because the system was built to serve itself, and nobody stopped to ask if it was still serving you. So if you're 17 and watching this before you make this decision, good. Do the specific math, not the average, yours. If you're 25 and already in it, good. Stop the bleeding. There are income-based repayment plans, refinancing options, and career pivots available that nobody told you about in the brochure. And if you're 35 and still carrying this weight, you're not behind. You're not broken. The system was expensive. You're still here. Start the math now. The best investment you'll ever make is the one you understand before you make it. That's the video. If this hit for you, or if you know someone who's about to sign loan papers and should probably watch this first, share it. That's genuinely the most useful thing you can do with this. I've got videos on building income without a degree, how to evaluate ROI on education, and what compound interest does to a $90,000 loan over time, all on the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Sharp, no fluff financial content every week. I'm Zach. Go make the smart move.